right, that should probably do it. Okay. All right, now I'll do my intro. Welcome everybody to the Legends of Gadia Ask Me Anything, first ever, and hopefully the first of many in the future. Yay! Welcome to everybody who came. Thank you so much. It was a little bit last minute, but just thought it would be nice to do something the weekend before we kick off our big Kickstarter. Oh, it's starting! It's starting on Tuesday. Oh my gosh! Okay, after a long, many months of hard work, we're finally here. It feels a little surreal. So anyway, just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Suman Han. I'm the author of the Gadia novel series that is still upcoming, but it's coming, I promise. And the creator and designer of Legends of Gadia, the card game that you guys have probably many of you have played by this point, either at a convention or an event that we've done. Or throughout the years as a playtester. So welcome one and all. Thank you so much for coming. Okay, so we will jump into answering some questions. Okay, so we have a question from Chiquit. Oh, like the banana without an A. Okay, and this is indeed my friend Jared, who was the impetus for the 2-player mode. So just to give you background, Legends of Gadia, as you know, is kind of like a rummy poker style type of card game that people in my fantasy novel series Gadia play in like taverns and stuff, right? This is their version of poker cards. It is a little different from ours. There's only 12 cards per suit and only 2 suits, as in 2 colors. Though there's still 4 of each card, so it's a pretty robust little deck, and you can play quite a few games with it, including this 2-player mode that Chiquit is asking about. So the original Legends of Gadia game is really meant for 3 to 4 players. After many hundreds of rounds of testing, maybe thousands by this point, it really works best as a 3 to 4 player game in terms of gameplay balance and fun. So, and of course, it's 48 cards. So when you're dealing them out, it divides evenly into 3 or 4. So that's the way you would normally, play the game. But we did want to have a 2-player mode because a lot of folks will just be wanting to pull this little guy off the shelf at the end of a long night and just play, with their spouse or partner, or just a friend who's over. And so I definitely wanted to develop a 2-player mode, but it's the sort of game where if you know everything your opponent is holding, it's not going to be as fun, right? So the 2-player mode that we came up with, thanks to Jared's idea, was to incorporate a third party basically into the 2-player mode. And I've named it the Sage's Time because our dear old friend the Sage, aged and learned as he is and extremely curmudgeonly, he is kind of racing the clock to death. So I love the Sage. He's so grumpy. Yeah, he's the one who hates children, if you all have, heard kind of the stories behind Legends of Gadia. He's a grumpy old man. And he's at the top of Eminence's house. Not, you would think somebody of his, aged years, and great wisdom would be in Transcendence's house, but he stops in Eminence because he is kind of the pinnacle of human learning and science and knowledge. He has 0 spirituality, basically, which in the world of Gadia, spirituality is the kind of one way that you connect to your magic. So he's not a magical person. He just is very practical. He knows all the things. And he fears death because he doesn't really believe in anything afterwards. So it's a poignant little, I guess, backstory that kind of ties in thematically. As you can tell, theme is very important to me and to log into everything having to do with Gadia. So that's why I had to have a cute little story to go with the 2-player mode. So what you're doing basically is you are racing the clock until the Sage's death, basically, and that's what the 3rd pile represents. So the way it goes is basically you deal out all the cards into 3 decks. You take one, your opponent takes the other, and the 3rd one sits kind of by itself on the side face down. And the idea is you 2 are still playing essentially log. You're using the same hands, the same moves to try to be the first one to get rid of all your cards. However, every time it's the Sage's turn, he flips over the top card on his pile. And one of you are trying to win the game before he runs out of cards, basically symbolizing his death. Oh dear. And of course, certain cards that he flips over have special effects. So what they always do, whatever card he flips over for his turn, both you and your opponent are blocked from using that card for your next turn, basically. So it kind of adds a little extra twist of challenge, right? Also, there are certain cards that have special effects if that's what he turns over. So if he turns over the sage, you know, our skeptical, cynical sage, he hastens his own death. So you have to immediately draw 3 more cards. And there, on the flip side, of course the paladin card, if you happen to flip it, you know, the paladin, as you well know, once you play log, he's a very beneficent card, and he again has a beneficent effect here. If you flip over the paladin, you get to basically nothing is blocked for that turn, and also you can skip the sage's next turn, so it's kind of a stay of execution. And then of course my favorite card, you guys should know, my friend the jester. If you flip a jester, then he causes chaos as usual. So what happens is play immediately reverses direction. So you may end up beating what you just played. So, you know, it's kind of again, a little agent of chaos here. So those are the basic rules of the Sage's Time. Those of you who are familiar with the game might be enticed because you kind of know how the gameplay goes. And if you're eager to try it out, obviously, you know, the rules are all online. I've put them in our new gameplay tips channel here on the Discord. It includes, there's a link to the full rule book, and the Sage's Time is there kind of in the back. You can look at the table of contents. And then I will make a video about the Sage's Time, about all the variants, actually. I say variants, but they're actually different games you can play with the same deck. Like, you know, just like poker cards in our world, I wanted you guys to be able to play multiple games with these 48 cards, because that's what they would do in the actual fantasy world of Gadia, right? So they're kind of tied to our stretch goals, but I will just be releasing them in PDF form and in the how to play videos as time goes. But we have the Sage's Time is one version. MythWeaver is another one. It's a drinking game that you can play with up to 9 people in the tavern. It's a storytelling game, basically, where, well, I'll go in, you know what, I should actually probably like see if there are any questions before I like go off on a tangent. So yeah, MythWeaver is another fun game that you can play with this one. And let me see, what else is there? I think I'm working on a solo mode as well, because solo play is fun. And there's actually, I think, just once again, utilizing the fact that you have all these colorful characters, there are some fun games to be played, kind of like jumping onto that theme. So I have one in the works called Forge the River. I won't say more than that right now, but it involves the use of a dice for, you know, to randomize things. And I think it will be a fun little solo game once I've perfected it. So yes, kind of on a tangent, but hopefully that answered your question about the 2-player mode, Chiki. All right. All right, does anybody else have any questions? Asking anything, so feel free to ask whatever you like, basically. Want to know about the backstory, the lore, about Gadia, the novel series. Let me see here. Oh, questions? Okay, Dr. Nisha, she's typing. My dear friend Nisha is here. I do have the Kickstarter reward tiers to share with you guys, but I thought we would do that toward the end of this. So we'll keep it loose and easy. We will answer whatever questions y'all have. Okay, Dr. Nishnish asks, who of the main characters in Log is better at card games, Ren? Okay, so this is my friend Nisha. She's using some insider knowledge here because she's read the first chapter of Gadia, the novel series. So that's a good question, though. I mean, obviously, Rel is my secondary main character, the one who is always in taverns, always playing this game, carrying it around, and just, you know, shuffling it whenever she's bored. So absolutely, Rel, she kicks butt. Fun tidbit that I mentioned to some of you, Legends of Gadia, the gameplay actually comes into the novel series just briefly in book 2. Our heroes are trying to book passage to the Eastern continent, but nobody's sailing because there have been dragon attacks lately, right? So but they need to go quite urgently. So they go to this, you know, upscale saloon, and they meet up with this dashing airship captain who is known to be quite a great gambler. and they gamble. You know, they challenge him to a game of log, gambling this priceless relic that they've just recently acquired for against passage to the Eastern continent. If Rel wins or beats him at a game. I won't spoil what happens, but yeah, it's a we'll become a sports manga, a sports anime for a brief moment, and we'll go blow by blow through the twists and turns of the game to see how Rel can defeat this airship captain Rets. So, oh, okay. Chiquit says, "Ooh, do we get the first chapter when we kickstart?" Okay. Well, I wasn't going to talk about stretch goals today. I was just going to do reward tiers. But that is actually one of the stretch goals. I will release. I was thinking I would just release the prologue because I think it's pretty juicy. But maybe we could do the first chapter or at least the first chunk. Some of it is going to be released at the San Francisco Writers Conference, where Gadia, the novel, has won the grand prize in their new emerging writers contest they hold every year. Yay. So yeah, that's the only reason I can afford to go to such an expensive conference. But it gets like that chunk that I entered is going to get published in their annual anthology anyway. So I mean, maybe I should just go ahead and release like actually a larger chunk than what's going to be in the anthology. That one only takes I think the first 15 pages or so. So I can release a little bit more than that for you guys. And it shouldn't be a problem because Patrick Rothfuss of The Name of the Wind fame released an entire chapter of his, epic trilogy, The Kingkiller Chronicles, in I think it was the Writers of the Future writing contest. So, and he did that before he ever got his book deal. And before the books were published with that chapter in it. So I think it should be okay. And anyway, so many people have kindly been asking about the books that I would love to release, a chunk to entice you all, especially because the actual publication shouldn't be too far off. Obviously, I'm going to this conference specifically to get an agent and publisher so that, traditional publishing has that longer reach in terms of marketing. And as you guys have all seen from my sad social media, I'm not good at social media and marketing. So I would rather leave it to the pros if I can and just focus on writing and developing future editions of Log. So I'm going to try to go the traditional route. Since the books will be done and have, some momentum from this Kickstarter, hopefully it gets funded. I'm hoping that the publishers will fast track it and should be out next year. And then it is a trilogy. So there's three pretty epic books, if I do say so myself. Some exciting adventures await you in these stories. Okay, let me continue on with the questions here. Mr. McStabby says, in World, is this the sort of game where each player would be traveling with their own personal deck? Would it be a full or half deck, or do the taverns, etc., have cards on hand for patrons? Having a teaser to hook people and immerse them could be a good idea. Oh, I agree. I would like to release, maybe even if we don't hit the stretch, okay, secret. Even if we don't hit the stretch goal, maybe I'll just include the prologue when I mail out the cards. But yeah, I agree with you. I think it's turned out, to generate, the game has generated unexpectedly a lot of interest in the books. So that's, of course, I'm very happy. I want people to read my books. That's, I'm a novelist originally, and then an accidental game designer. So, okay. But to answer your question about how does it work in World? So people have their own decks. They do not look this pretty, even though with the advent of magic, they don't need to have publishing presses to be able to create duplicates of, very beautiful sets that have been created by artisans. But most people, darn, I wish I had it with me. Okay, the sad potato deck. So Rel, our hero, who is the big log player among the Gadia heroes, has her own deck, but it's kind of a sad, cheap one. Which she calls it the sad potato deck because they all look like sad potatoes. Some of you may have seen the sad potato deck. I think Jared saw it at PAX West because I brought it with me. But if you look in the official rule book, the sad potatoes are in here as the, here we go, demonstrating some of the cards. So I don't know if you can see. That's what the sad potato deck looks like. They are just these little anonymous people. They all kind of look sad. If you're familiar with anime manga, which obviously is my love and my background, it's the no mole, like the anonymous little faces, using the characters no for the eyes and mo for the mouth or the nose, except because everyone in log except for the paladin has his eyes closed, their eyes are just little lines. So that's the sad potato deck. If you're poor like Rel, you get to use the sad potato deck, and if you're like a lord and stuff, you're probably going to have an even fancier deck than this one. So that was a good question, Mr. McStabby. Yes, Dr. Nishnish agrees. Good question. Yes, good question indeed. But yeah, I'm sure somebody will buy Rel a nicer deck at some point. Surely after she beats, oh, oops, spoiler. Okay. Surely after she plays her game against the airship captain, she should that deserves. Exactly. Mr. McStabby's got it, the no mo no, the little face, no mo. Yeah. So those were some good questions. Okay, this is fun. Does anyone else have any questions about the games or the world or the rewards, the Kickstarter, so on and so forth? I'm always excited to talk about the development as well. I tried to get my two artists to come who created the artwork for Legends of Gadia. No AI art here. This is all human generated, and you can tell from just the beauty and the epicness of the cards. That's why, actually, some of you have heard this, but that is actually why we have Legends of Gadia now ahead of the books. Originally, I had meant it to be kind of a reader bonus where, just for fun, I was like, okay, let me just make up some rules, make it a playable game, and then I'll put it on my like author website or something so that people can play the same game that Rel's always playing, and just for fun. But then, it ended up being kind of a legitimately fun game. My playtesters kept asking to play it, and we've been playing it for like 15 years. Okay, yeah, it's been a while. I've been working on the series for a while, and part of it is just real life getting in the way. But anyway, we're almost done. So, it was supposed to just be kind of a reader bonus that came out after the books, but it's because I found this artist, Sivy is her name, Sivy.art on Instagram. I tag her in all the things, so you can probably find her account if you want. Her art was not only kind of intricate and beautiful in that way that feels a little bit anime manga, JRPG, but also, kind of has that intense detail and aesthetic prettiness, that I have always found appealing. But also this sort of inherent drama, I guess is the best way to put it. The Gadia series is not dark. It's not remotely grim dark. It's an adventure type of story, but it is epic. So the closest thing I could probably say is something along the lines of Brandon Sanderson. You have a lot of epic happenings, big battles, big magic and magic systems, but it isn't going to leave you depressed and shocked at every turn because someone, you didn't want to die has just been brutally killed, so nothing like that. And so it's not grimdark, but it does have a lot of drama inherently in it and epicness. So I felt Saivy's art perfectly captured that. And when she drew specifically the knight, was one of the earliest ones we did. I was like, oh my gosh, that's the one. And then suddenly this whole project just had to be. So that's why Log is coming out first. So, I wanted to pay her a fair rate for commercial commissions and this incredibly exquisite work. So I ended up quite in the hole, we'll just say, unexpectedly, because I went ahead and commissioned this artwork while she had an opening in her schedule. And then I felt, oh dear, I probably better pay myself back if possible. So that's kind of why I decided to kickstart it as well. And the timing just worked out really well with the Writers' Conference. If you guys know about the world of publishing, people in the publishing world really like it if you come with a pre-existing fan base or interest base or something. And so I thought, well, a Kickstarter, might be of interest to them, and a whole fully fledged game that, may have some very, excited followers of. So it's the way publishing works is, I guess, the more people pay for you upfront, like pay your advance, the more marketing money they're going to spend on you, kind of inversely, because then they have to make it succeed. So, since I really believe in the Gadia series, obviously I've hung on there and worked on it for over, almost 20 years at this point. So I I really feel it's a series that's worth the effort to put out, and I hope it will reach and touch many people, as a little alternative to some of the grimmer things, the darker, scarier things that might be out in the world right now, well, in the world, but I mean in literature too. So or genre literature too. So anyway, uh, I would like to give both Gadia and Log its best shot, and that's why this kind of abrupt Kickstarter, out of nowhere. Oh, okay. Any questions? Is somebody chatting? I can't hear you guys if you are talking in the Discord voice channel. I'm sorry. I'm on the Ask a Question channel, so I can see any questions you guys are writing in there. But Tanya, my dear mod, Chinny, is gonna tell me, right, if anybody's asking questions that I'm missing. Right, Tanya. She's there silently streaming, but she doesn't want to talk.
No, we're here. We don't really chat in voice chat.
Okay. Alrighty. All right. So I haven't missed anything. Okay. Does anyone else have any questions about the world or otherwise? The Kickstarter, the characters, Gadia questions are okay too, if you're curious about that. Although, I hope you guys are curious about the log characters. If you look in the Gadia lore channel, I did go ahead and stuff it with a lot of the backstory that's already been released, as well as some shorter summaries about each of the 12 legends of Gadia. Oh, you know what? Have you all seen the little story trailer type of thing that I put on Instagram? I was thinking maybe I could just play that, and maybe that would generate some ideas and questions. So why don't I go ahead and do that? It's pretty short, and I think it's fun. So let me cue it up here, and I'll share my screen. Okay, that should be it. All right, here we go. Oh, I can just share the window. That's kind of cool. Okay, there we go. Let's share that. Oh, share tab or screen instead. Okay, so I need to share the entire screen in order to share audio. Okay, here we go. Okay. Oops. Oh, talk. Okay, that was the story trailer. Sorry, the graphics are kind of choppy because I was watching on the screen as well, but maybe in the Zoom it gets a little bit choppy. So that is the story, the backstory behind Legends of Gadia, the game. Obviously, as I've mentioned, the story of the game and these 12 legends, they happened about 500 years before the start of the novel series, and they're just kind of old, not ancient, but old history by the time the Gadia novel series begins. But this particular quest actually has a lot of relevance to the Gadia novel series. The great deed that the 12 Legends managed to achieve that actually stopped the flood of the shadows, at least temporarily, was to raise that little uninhabited island of Gadia into the air, where it has remained floating for the next 499 years until the start of the story. And then our hero, for personal reasons of his own, is quite desperate to get to Gadia, but there's a prophecy. Only the final paladin, this figure of prophecy, this hero that is meant to kind of apparently go and finish the job to end the shadows once and for all. Only the final paladin is allowed to go. So he is desperate to become the final paladin, but he has a lot to learn before that can happen. If it happens, if it's going to be him. So that's how the two are tied. Though, sadly, you're not going to see Rosales the Divine and, all these cool people in Legends of God, or the Gadia novel series itself. Oh, okay. I have a question here. Oh, Dr. Nishna says, it's my first time on Discord, but I can't see the content on the Gadia Lore channel. Okay, and Chini is our mod, our fabulous admin, is checking it out. And so she'll make sure that you guys have permissions, but let me know if you still can't see it, Dr. Nishnush. Uber Mermaid has a question. In the legend, do the 12 heroes fight together or not? Since in the card game, we match them against each other. Oh, that is such an interesting question. Why should you think that the gameplay is tied to the reality of their quest? Well, you know what? I'm going to zip my mouth right there just because I can neither confirm nor deny anything, I guess, is what I'm going to say. You will probably learn a little bit more about what actually happened on Gadia somewhere in the Gadia novel series, even though, it is history. It's funny, this board game reviewer I hung out with last week, or was it just last week? It's a really cool gal named Sylvis Venture. She was asking the same thing. She was like, what really happened? Like, can you tell us in detail? I said, well, I can, but I shouldn't right now. So you'll hear about it down the line. But that actually ties into something I wanted to kind of also just reveal as a juicy tidbit for you all. If this Kickstarter succeeds, obviously the game is complete in this 148 card deck, right? Which is why, it may be a little more expensive than your average trading card game starter deck, because you never have to buy any more packs or expansions or whatever else. However, just for fun, for the collector and all of us, as you play log and hopefully learn to love it as much as I do, for the fun of those folks, I was thinking that if this Kickstarter succeeded, maybe every year or so, I'll release new editions of Log, but like with different artwork, like either collabing with different artists or just with different fun themes. So for example, I've had a request for a cat version where all the characters are still there, but they're cats. So it'd be very cute. I was also thinking a Halloween version would be really fun. Some of these are already a little bit Halloween friendly, but just imagine if we went a little bit spookier, that would be really fun. So those are some ideas for future editions that I'd like to release, probably through Kickstarter in the future. Also a premium edition, actually. This is something some of the game stores I spoke to asked for. They wanted a bigger box so that the game would have more shelf presence. I had been thinking the smaller box size would be a selling point because you can literally just pop this in your pocket or in your bag and take it with you, play it wherever you have that, 20 minutes and a few friends. But I do see why a premium edition might be nice. So the idea is to actually, and this is something somebody suggested at I think PAX Unplugged. I was thinking of a bigger box that is the size of like a hardcover book. So, and I would want them to match the actual Gadia books. So you can just have them in a row. You can have the 3 Gadia books and then the log, book box. So that premium edition would probably be the first next Kickstarter that I would do. And that would be open fully internationally to everybody. This first Kickstarter, I'm a little bit sorry to say, is since it is my first one and I want to make sure that I succeed and make it, as doable as possible and make sure I deliver the goods. I am limiting it to US only for physical goods. There is a digital tier that is open to everybody. And if you really, really, especially my dear supporters here, if you really want this first edition, just email me and I will make it happen, basically. Yeah, of course, I don't want to deny anybody. It's just on a wide scale, to do that fulfillment would be a little bit challenging for my first time out. So, but the premium edition, by that time, I'll have had more time, more experience, and more ability to look at fulfillment options. So for that, absolutely, it would be open internationally, as would all future ones. But yeah, but just for this little first one, this little small one to just get us all established and started and get the game into your hands, at least here domestically. I was just going to do US only. But again, if you really want a copy and you're outside the US, we'll make it happen. Just DM me on Instagram or email me through the website. But yeah, okay. So, but the 7 of us who don't use Instagram, is the media also on YouTube or other places? It's pretty convenient to embed the link. YouTube content, no pesky logins. That's true. Yes, actually, the story trailer, unfortunately, the music is copyrighted. So I actually did try to upload this story trailer to YouTube, and then I got blocked because Nightwish doesn't allow the music to be used. I know, too bad. So once I have a second and I can put some different music to it, I'll go ahead and upload it. Let's see here. I mean, if you don't mind just running onto Instagram for a second to grab the post and then stick it elsewhere, I'd appreciate that. But no, I totally get it. It is cumbersome. So yeah, I will, if you go ahead and subscribe to my little YouTube channel here, should I share again and show you all? Okay, let's see. We will share the screen, and then let's go over to, okay, look at this. I was very prepared. This is the YouTube channel, or actually the playlist, I should say, Legends of Gadia. So it's at Gadia Official. Most things is at Gadia Official for us, except for the webpage. I know I really dropped the ball there. But anyway, yeah, if you come here, I have right now, it looks kind of empty, but I will be adding more. I've got just a fun little testimonial video that I'm gonna re-upload with music. I just don't have time to find, once again, the copyright-free music when I was trying to put together the campaign page quickly. So that's kind of fun. And I think the funnest thing is, I have this one if you guys want to share. Oh, wait, I didn't share music. Hold on. Let me stop sharing and share with music again, because this one is, I had the foresight to use royalty-free music. So let me see here. Where is my screen? Okay, here I am. I will share once again. This time I will share with audio and share the screen. Okay. Oops, didn't keep playing. Okay. Okay, so that is kind of a fun one. And then now I'll just share normally so that I don't have the weird echo going. Okay. Da-da-da. We also have just a few quick shorts here, but I think the more fun content is going to be here under playlists. I'm making a series called Learn to Play Legends of Gadia, or Learn to Play Log. I've got 3 videos here already, but there will be more. In fact, the reason I haven't, kind of pushed this whole thing just yet, even though I did release 1 or 2 on the Instagram, is that it's missing the first one. I should have started by introducing the card grid, the all-important card grid that tells you, how the cards are organized in houses and stratum. So I will do one of these. You can go ahead, especially those of you who are already familiar with the rules, you can go ahead and watch these as like a refresher. And maybe I think the Lord tutorial, card 7, the Lord tutorial, might be a good thing to entice board gamers who like this type of kind of intricate thematic gameplay. So you can go ahead and share that. I know at least one person on Instagram was like, "What is this game? This is so cool!" You know, because he had seen this video. But yeah, I will go ahead and add to this playlist. And so I think this is going to be a good resource going forward. Because each of these they're like bite size and they get in depth into the topic of the video. So I've got a video introducing the universals, which is the full houses and the chaos pair slash trio. And then the grand trinity, as you know, those who've played, those are the most useful team ups that everyone should be prioritizing, in my opinion. And then I want to do this card tutorial for a few of the cards. I've done that a little bit in the Discord where if you go look at the gameplay tips, sorry, you have to look at my face twice. They have, or I have, oops, actually, I put the videos in here. What I was thinking was under Gadia lore, I've introduced each of the characters. And these, if you are on Instagram, you'll recognize in the character reveal party I've been doing, where I reveal the cards one by one. I do include a slide that has a little bit of their backstory and the historical figure the card is based on here. And then this handy card, slide that shows you their main team ups. So, you know, the gesture, what else do you need a gesture for but a chaos fair, right? Well, I guess Innocence House, but yeah, you can do that. Or I included it for everybody. So if you come here, you can see their team ups. But the video, the card tutorial for the Lord kind of does that in story form, or, you know, in video form, I should say. So I might go, if I have time, I'll do this for each of the cards. But anyway, they're these handy little cheat sheet cards. I'm a big fan of cheat sheets that you can also check out on here under Gadia lore. So yeah, okay. Let me go back to the questions. Have I missed? Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing. All right, so yeah, so do check out, we do have a YouTube channel to answer your question, Mr. Max Stabby. Thank you for posting, yeah, thank you for posting the link. But yeah, we do have that YouTube channel and it will grow as I have more time to put up more content. And yeah, thank you for sharing and spreading it to people. I really appreciate that. Obviously, that's the way that, you know, people are going to hear about it. Alrighty, let's see here. Let's see. Yuba Mermaid has another question. Which card does the most team ups? Oh, okay. Is there a reason for that in the lore? Okay, good question. So, obviously, as I've been doing those little card slides, introducing all the team ups for each card, I've also had to start thinking about why do certain cards have more team ups than others, right? A lot of the answer of that is just pure gameplay. As we've been play testing for, you know, so many years, as we play, gaps in the gameplay come up. So some early feedback that I had was the paladin is too strong, you need a paladin killer. So that's how Brothers in Arms was developed. Card 9, the Swordmaster, and card 10, the Knight. They also, I felt they were a little bit underutilized. And again, as usual, since theme is so important to me, that seemed like a very logical way to challenge the power of the paladin and the wizard. So I went ahead and I've got somebody visiting me who should just, yeah, one of the grandmasters.
Oh, can you send us the Zoom link? We can't get in.
What? Okay, sure. Okay. My goodness, I've done this so many times. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Well, you're gonna meet maybe I don't know if they're camera shy, but maybe you'll meet some of the quote unquote grandmasters. Actually, we already have one joining us. Yuba Mermaid is one of my oldest friends, Mary, who is one of our 3 log grandmasters who played this game more than anyone else over these 15 years. They even played it at our friend Yesha's wedding because they were so addicted. So not during the wedding, but like if you've been to an Indian wedding, you'll know that in the morning there's the actual ceremony, and then there's the grand reception in the evening, and there's usually like a gap in between where they serve food that you can just come and snack on. And so there were tables, we were grazing, and I happened to have log in my little bag there, so I busted it out. We played it. Sorry, Yesh. But we had a good time and we loved your wedding. So anyway, so yeah, our 3 grandmasters. Yeah, if you have, well, no, you wouldn't have, but you will see in the instruction booklet, I have a little special thanks area at the end. and it actually mentions these folks here. So, and it mentions Jared. Thank you for, again, for the Sage's Time idea, the germ of the idea, which has grown beautifully. Thank you. So we have the Grandmasters Dragon, Bubble, and Moonfire. Mary is Moonfire. I know, pretty cool, huh? We're all kind of epic and cheesily epic and awesome, in my opinion. Crazy folks over here who love fantasy. So anyway, those three, they have a lot of real life, obligations. So, but as time goes on, I know they want to be more involved. They will hopefully be in the Discord and around to answer questions as well and share their own gameplay strategies. This is something that I've mentioned to people that I was playtesting with. Oh, here we go. Here comes Grandmaster Dragon. Hello, Grandmaster Dragon. Okay, her audio is starting up, but as I was saying, I've mentioned to some of you guys as we play tested, as you play more and more, your own play style will develop, is what we've noticed over the years with those who've been playing a lot. The game is I guess like strategically wide enough that you actually can develop your own play style. Oh, who is that? Is that Grandmaster Dragon? Do you want to say hello? I hear you. Okay, she doesn't have her awesome dragon icon here, but yeah, you'll be seeing Grandmaster Dragon, her husband Grandmaster Bubble, and our resident mermaid Grandmaster Moonfire hanging out in the Discord, whom you can hopefully ask questions to. And eventually, when I track them down, when they have time, I'll have them do strategy videos as well, talking about their own strategy. And that's something I'll do as well. I want to record. I've already recorded 3 of us playing a couple rounds of logs, so you can see you actually can finish a whole round in well under 20 minutes once you know the rules. We regularly do. We go between 8 to 10 or 8 to 15 minutes, I would say, per round, and you can't stop at one. That's the problem. It's the sort of addictive game where at least for me, it scratches a certain itch in your brain just the right way, so that you're on the chase. As soon as you play it, you're like, okay, I want to try again, and I'm gonna use my little gray cells to figure out what best combination I can make out of these cards I randomly get dealt to to win the game, to optimize how I play. So yeah, so if I'm biased, I know, but I do think it's a really fun game. So yeah, okay. Am I missing questions? Let me go back and see. Every time I switch over to a different tab, I don't know where my questions have gone. Okay, all right. I have a question from Chiquit. So, oh, actually, you know what? I didn't even answer you Mermaid's question. Sorry. Is there a reason that, or which card has the most team ups? So it's a tie, actually. I found that 3 different cards have more than one signature team up. It's the Lord, the Lady, and the Knight all have 2 major team ups, and then everybody has a stratum that they belong to, and everybody has a full house that they belong to, and their pair is also usable. In the case of, as you know, Eminence and Innocence pairs, you can use them to defeat a single card in the house above them, one house above. So those, they really, ooh, okay. Oh my goodness, we have a special guest. Okay. This is pretty amazing. This is why you should go to cons, everybody, because at OrcaCon here in Seattle, I met the most amazing people, the epic board game reviewers. Our Family Plays Games, who has just joined the chat, or the Zoom, I should say. Welcome.
How you doing?
Oh, doing well. Hello, Vic. It's so good to see you. And Grant, thank you for the epic trailer. Oh gosh, guys. They created the most incredible ad for me, which I should totally show if that's okay with you all, to give them a preview here. Is that okay? Okay. Yeah, but yeah, no, they're the sweetest people. Like it's when they say don't meet your heroes, it's not always true. Like
it's true. Just true.
But you should meet these guys because they're so kind, and they I don't know. Thank you. They totally embraced me, and this rando who just appeared and went, "I love your channel. Do you want to see my game?" They're like, "Yeah." So yeah, thank you for coming.
That's the thing, but
Yeah, we missed doing it at OrcaCon, and I really wanted to, but it's cool. It's cool.
Well,
It's
you
cool.
have a game, you know, they
It's
kindly took
fun.
a
It's fun.
copy. Oh,
It really is
good,
fun.
good. Yeah,
But
I'm
see, I
glad you
didn't.
had fun.
Grant had to tell me that it was part of a book, so now I'm gonna have to read a book.
An
Okay.
asynchronous card game, in fact. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like that.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's
Some of
fun
that Witcher
because
stuff because Witcher had a game in the book that they brought out
oh, my
to
nephew says hello.
make a board game out of. So you
Uh-huh.
try to do that same thing. So yeah, I got to read the book now.
I hope you do. Yes, I was
Yeah.
just mentioning. Hey, this is my nephew Arlen. He's coming.
Hey,
Out of
hey.
curiosity. This is Mick and his son Grant. They are reviewing the game. Is that exciting? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. His favorite card is yeah, the jester. So he's always coming around and showing it off to people. So anyway, but yeah, so the books, the funny thing is the books did come first. So it isn't like I'm trying to be like, here, let me have a tie-in game. It logically flows into the books themselves. And I was just telling the folks here earlier, the game shows up in the books for a moment. It's actually a plot moment in book 2, where they have to win this game in order to get this gambler to take them in his airship somewhere. So it's
in a
fun.
starship somewhere.
Airship, yes, airship. We're in a world where they have the floating tall ships. Yeah, because if we got a floating island, we need to get there with the floating airship, right? So.
See, I want to do something. I want to read that. Okay.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I know I sent Grant the robust backstory, which all of you guys, by the way, that's what I put into the Gadia lore channel. So everybody can check out what Grant and everybody have had a chance to look at. I will, like I said, I do really appreciate everyone's interest in the book, so I do want to send you guys the prologue and stuff. We're just gonna wait and see if that stretch goal gets hit and it can be like legitimate. But even if not, I'm gonna send it to you guys, all you guys. Yeah, just because I hope you will check out the books. The game I think is pretty dang fun, but the books are gonna be next level. If I just feel myself.
Okay. All right.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. Yeah, I'm excited.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh, I mean, oh, good heavens, we're down to the last 8 minutes. So let me quickly share the reward tiers as I've been promising everybody. And actually, Chiquit had one quick question that let me just answer that as well. Any house rule ideas yet for alternative play modes? I remember the simplified version.
Don't do no house rules.
No.
Don't do not play like the designer put it. Because let me tell you, we play a lot of games out there. And I went to a designer one time and said, well, can I stretch this to one more turn? He said, what the rules say? The rules said, he said, what the rules say? I'm saying, I'm so sorry that I have just even asked the house rule your game, sir. So no, designers don't like that at all. So yeah, we try to play by the rules of what they do. So yeah.
Oh, I appreciate that. See, your fidelity to the designer's vision is one of the things that I love about your channel, right? Like I was telling Grant, I didn't even mention, that blue sky imagery is a major thing for Gadia and Log, and just like naturally put in some like epic blue sky footage. So, you guys' ability to get to the heart of what the designer is intending, I really appreciate. I don't think everybody can do that.
That's all Grant.
No,
that's all Grant. Yeah.
That's why your videos have always stood out to me.
Yeah.
But
that's all Grant.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. But no, Chiquit, don't feel bad because literally one of the reward tiers is specifically for house rules, and it's an apocryphal rule set that has become popularized throughout the world of Gadia. It was made by the Mad King Creordan, and he just he loved the game and he liked to make up crazy stupid team ups just for fun. So now one of the reward tiers allows you, my dear backers, the chance to do that as well, and you will be included in the apocryphal rule set. So I can't guarantee the quality of the apocryphal rules, but it's already canon in world, right? This crazy king has made his own house rules that the people in his court play with. It may not make a lot of sense, but he wants you to play with them, so you do what the king says, right? But no, but I agree with you. Obviously I'm biased. I think the original rules are really solid and it's a well-balanced game. Everybody has their uses. You've a mermaid to make sure that nothing feels like a yucky card. Even you know the ones that you use for passing and whatever else. It's still useful. So let me share those reward tiers. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen again, and then we will. Okay. I'm sorry, you're going to see two of my faces for a moment. Okay, so let's hop onto the reward tiers because this is exclusive. You guys are the first to see this. All right, so the reward tiers for the Kickstarter, which is starting on Tuesday, we have, as usual, our very basic level 1 supporter, which is just a $1 pledge. People can use this just to keep up with our updates if you're not sure yet whether you want to back, or if you're an international backer who you know, I mean, like I said, for you, especially for those of you who are kindly here, I will make an exception. Just DM me. I won't get the game to you. But in general, since this campaign is a US only for the physical rewards campaign, this is a good way for people to keep up with future Kickstarters, which will be open internationally. So that's a great one. The digital package, once again, I was thinking about the folks who may not be able to access the physical version right now. This is what you get to do if you love the art of log and you want to get our super epic, the Pantheon is what I call them. I didn't put it here, but you'll see it in a second when I show you one of the other rewards. It's all the 12 cards in both the light and the dark. I will have a beautiful high resolution wallpaper for you, as well as the print and play edition. So this was offered for a while leading up to the game's release, just to get people to play it. But now you can get it a very nice version. You can actually print out your own version and then make your own cards if you can't access these. Although, you know, I know it doesn't quite compare because these are such nice 310 GSM cards, professional poker grade. So, you know, it will be open to you in the future though. Okay, so the next one, the early bird special, it's the game at a little discount. So unfortunately, it's only limited to the first 30 backers because my margin is pretty slim for this game. So you'll get $5 off. It'll be $20 for the game. And then let's see here. Our next tier is the game itself, regular version. It's going for $25. As I said, it is just the rare card game where you don't have to keep buying expansions and like packets. So that's why it's a little bit more, maybe substantially priced, but I don't know. It's worth I think it's worth it. Look at all this art. You get to carry around a gallery in your purse or your bag wherever you go. So anyway, that's the game. So, oh goodness, sorry. I made a mistake on this that I'll have to update. This should be 45. The next tier up is the game plus now we have the goodies coming. Character art postcard set. This is basically this. So a set of all 12 character art, 4x6 postcards, so that they're easy to frame if you want to just put them all in a beautiful frame. So I have a few more shots here. You can see it's a very, you know, it's quality printing so that you can really see the details of the beautiful artwork. And the thing is actually, I've heard that some people don't like a lot of text on their postcards. So, you know, we're a democratic society here at Legends of Gadia. I will actually have the backers vote for how they want the text to appear. So I have a few options. Oops, maybe I didn't put it in this folder, but I do have a few different options that, you know, if we'd had time, I would have actually just had you guys vote, but the backers themselves will get to vote whether they want the logo, they want the character name, and they want the logo or not, or the title or not. And then you will get, you know, we'll customize these so that the majority is happy. So that's one of the packages. The next one is one for a friend. So also at the $45 level, you can get 2 copies of log for a slight discount once again, in case you want to share with a friend, since there's no other way to get the game right now, you know. All right, next up we have the Game Plus. This is very exciting. The first edition companion book. So this is going to be a pretty robust book. Here are the covers right now. I commissioned this artwork from our promotional artist, Olha Hishchuk, specifically to be the epic cover of this companion book. So this is a Kickstarter exclusive. There's nowhere else that one can go up to obtain this. And this is going to be an at least 72-page book that is going to be full of information. It'll have maps of the world. It'll have of course, the full official rule book in a larger. This is an 8 by 11 book, so it's going to be much easier to read in here, and it will have information about the world of Gadia. Sorry, this text is not final, but I'm giving you just a quick idea of what it would be like. This is the Pantheon that I was talking about earlier. So the digital reward tier includes this, but in the correct dimensions for various screens. There'll be a whole package of these, but yeah, so basically you'll have the full artwork of the character included in beautiful color printing, more backstory about each character, and then as I mentioned, the full rule book will be included here in a larger, easier to read format. So this book, if you get it just as an add-on, because I will have it as just like an add-on that you can put onto another tier if you want. It's $35 by itself. So yeah, so that's what this tier is. And it will be at least 72 pages. It will probably go up because some of the stretch goals actually are tied to additional artwork. So my promotional artist Olha is ready to, I guess, create more artwork depicting the various team ups, and certain stretch goals will unlock 1, 2, or 3, so on. And then yeah, well, the stretch goals you can see on launch date. It'll have all the details, but just as a preview, I'm hoping to get all 3 of the Grand Trinity team ups illustrated and add to the book. And then one of the other stretch tiers I mentioned is the Gadia novel prologue I will release in the book. So, the page count may go up, but it will be at least 72 pages. So it's for those who are interested in the lore and the background, this is a pretty exciting thing, which I don't know where else I would be able to offer this. So that's a good one, I think. All right, next up, and I'll hurry it up because it's 4:30. Sorry, everybody. Hopefully you can stay a little bit. The Ultimate Collector's Package. So at $150, you get all the physical and digital goods from the lower tiers. And that includes the 3 add-ons that are not included in the regular tiers. So there's a set of 6 vinyl stickers. These are quite pretty. These are the 6 most popular characters. You may have noticed at various conventions, I've been having voting polls to see who the most popular character designs are. And these 6 are the winners consistently. So you will get a set of these 6 beautiful vinyl stickers. So they're all weatherproof, 2.5 by 3.5 inches. So they're pretty big. I don't have a picture for the next add-on yet, but basically this was a major request that everybody had, which was, oops, how did I come to this? Tarot card size for the cards. So since in the world of Gadia, you actually can tell fortunes with these, there are fortune tellers who do. I just thought it would be fun to include a little mini guidebook of what's called the Gaudian Path. They're kind of like tarot cards, but it's hokey, so don't actually try. But if you want, it's there for fun and for world building color. And it will be a set of 12 of the light border cards like this one, but in the tarot card size. So, and then the back will be neutral so that you can draw it upright or face down. So that is a Kickstarter exclusive too. I have nowhere else to use the set of 12. So I'm allowing people to buy up to 4 sets if you actually kind of want the whole thing to play as a deck. In my humble opinion, because my hands are very small, they're very clunky to hold. Like especially if you're playing 3-player and you're holding 16 cards at once, I cannot hold 16 tarot-sized cards in my hands, but other people can. So if you really want, you can just buy the set, I guess. But yeah, so that is one of the add-ons. And the third one is 3 mini art prints, which are just these 3 very pretty. Oh, I don't have a picture, but it's the Lord, wow, I'm out of it. The Knight, the Lady, and the Jester. A set of these 3 beautiful little mini prints, which I'm surprised I don't have them just sitting out here. Which, I've been giving away, but for those who didn't have a chance to get them at the cons and live appearances, they're a nice collector set, and they're a little bit larger than they're 5 by 7, so they're a little bit larger, nicer, for framing, I guess, than the postcards. So those are the add-ons, and you get all of that in the collector's package. And then if you continue on to, and of course the companion book, the 12 postcards, and the game itself. I also have a retailer's tier for those who own brick and mortar stores. They can get 16 copies of the game at a slight discount. And now the two most exciting tiers, in my opinion, that have the exclusive items. So the founders tier at $250 is everything in the collectors tier, plus a limited edition signed copy of the game. So they will be signed in silver ink, 1 of 100 only. They'll be limited. And also you get 2 other limited items that you can't get elsewhere, basically, and it will only be available on this Kickstarter, this first one. One will be a set of 16 betting tokens. There is a way to bet with Legends of Gadia, as you can imagine, since people play this in a tavern. And the betting tokens help you keep track of your cash cards, basically. So that would be included. Plus, there will be a founder's, did I not write it here? Okay, but it is actually a founder's pin, a hard enamel pin that says log original backer. So that is something I will never release again. So they're limited to just the 100 who are going to pledge at the founders tier. And then the last one is the MythWeavers tier. So this is the crazy, I really want to support log and I want to be a part of its history forever. The MythWeavers tier, which is at $3,000, if anybody's into that, is the one that I was talking about, where you get to create your own team up and it will go into the rule book as part of the apocryphal rule set forever. So basically, I had many questions from people saying, why don't you make a team up that's like a ship, like a romantic ship? Like somebody was shipping the Archer and the Herald. And I was like, well, I mean, if you want to come up with the rules. And then I realized actually maybe people would. So this is your chance to create your own team up, and we'll work together to make sure that it has some kind of fun and useful game mechanic. Also, I will commission an original illustration for your team up that will go officially into the log companion book and in future editions as well. And you will get a one-of-a-kind print of that artwork that is signed by me with a dedication to you. So it's the super, super personalized version of basically of log. So that is there as well. So that is it for the tiers, or the reward tiers. Let me quickly see if anybody has any questions for after all of that. Okay, Mr. McStabby says, these are pretty modest Kickstarter entry tiers. What is the backing goal you're going to shoot for? Not very high. It's about 6,259 is all I need to be able to print at a reasonable price and then have physical copies for you all. So, you know, that's why they're not very high. Although if you want to support higher, you know, there are a few fun ones. Oh, sorry, Mick.
I have a question.
Yeah, what's up? What's your question?
Yeah, now, what other cons are you going to this year?
Oh gosh, I have not written in like almost a year because of this project. So I'm actually going to cool it a little bit for cons. What are you going to? I want to see you guys and actually play with y'all.
Well, we're going to, I think our next one is BGG Spring in May. And then we're going to go to Grand Con, that's in Michigan. Okay. And we don't know where else, but those are the ones we have down right now. Ooh. And also BGG in the fall, which is in November. Yeah. Those
are you going to PAX Unplugged? Okay, just
we don't know yet. We're thinking about it, but we don't know yet.
It was really fun. I happened to go this past year. It looked like it was fun. Yeah, and so I might go to that again just because it was such an amazing con. And that would be really cool to meet you there. But I'll keep up with your channel and see, you know, if I can coincide with y'all, especially if you come closer to the West Coast.
Okay.
But yeah, sure. I know I think I'm gonna take a little break, at least for the summer, to finish off book 1 and then work with the, you know, try to get it sold. And then after that, I'll be back. No, I've had such a good time meeting people on this con circuit, I tell you. Every time I play too, not only do I get new views of the game, but again, people are interested in the book. So I'm like, okay, it's my obligation as an author to keep on going out and meeting people, playing the game, and then getting them curious about the book. So I would absolutely come, but like maybe later in the fall or onward.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Thanks though. Oh yeah, we will absolutely have to meet again though. Come out to OrcaCon. I'm here. You know, I'm here.
We'll be back. We're coming back next year.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, Grant, this time for sure. I will track you down.
Yeah.
Actually, I did see you the first day, but I was too shy to come say hello. So.
Oh, come on! Don't be shy. We tell people, don't be shy. Come and see us and talk to us. We just extra folk. Well, I'm extra. Well, I don't know about Stahl and Grant, but I'm extra. So just come talk to us. You know.
No, you're so warm and kind. That was kind of like I And the last day, y'all, I'll tell you the embarrassing story. I kept seeing them and I was like, I gotta talk to them. I've gotta talk to them. And then finally, like, I worked up the courage to do it when Starlin, we're playing a game with two other nice ladies. And I was just like, I feel like such a jerk, but I was just like, I just had to say hi because you're so cool.
You weren't, no.
And they were so
You
nice.
tell everybody,
like,
come talk to us. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
To build community, you know, to talk to folk, you know, everybody. That's what we're here for.
That's the best thing about board games as a fandom is it's literally one where you're trying to bring people in instead of being exclusive, you know.
Exactly.
So that's been the beautiful thing I've learned stepping into the board game world, you know, from my little fantasy world, which is a little bit more introverted. We kind of just stay in our rooms and write. So
no, you got to come out. But see, I can't, you know, I can't speak on that because I'm an extrovert, extrovert. So, you know, I can't speak to that. So,
which I appreciate because that draws out the introverts who are naturally kind of crawling into the corner and just hiding there. You know, that's what we do. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay.
But I'm glad you came and talked to us, though. I'm really glad.
I am too. Yeah. Seriously, that's the amazing thing about cons. Everybody go if you have a chance. Okay. All right, everybody, it is now 4:40, so I will wrap up. Thank you all so much for coming. Like, really, it's been such a pleasure to talk with you all and answer questions. And yeah, thank you for supporting the game. Thank you for being interested. All right, everybody. I will see you on Tuesday when the Kickstarter launches. If you sign up for notifications, you'll get it around 6:05 a.m., you know, Pacific time. And then yeah, we'll hopefully get funded. Mr. McStabby, wish me luck. It's hopefully not so high a goal. I know the tiers are not that high, but yeah, I don't know. If you all, you know, give me feedback actually. Does anybody have a suggestion for another tier that is kind of in a different price range than what you already see? Yeah, I don't know. In terms of goods, I can't think of what else I could offer. But if you have ideas as you're thinking tonight in the shower or whatever, please email me or DM me on either Facebook or Instagram, or here in the Discord. Obviously, I will be on here. Just pop it in to ask a question. Yeah, I know I have the low end covered. Yeah, I thank you, Mr. McStabby. Yeah, the low end has some good options, and the add-ons I think will help. Maybe like make that a little bit of more of a robust pledge. But yeah, I just can't think what else. What else could I do? You know, the crazy MythWeaver tier is kind of very work intensive. That's why I priced it so high so that I won't have to do it very much. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Is there something in between that I'm missing? If you can think of anything, let me know. Yeah, I suppose I could always. I don't know if I can actually. I don't know if I can change the reward tiers after I launch. But at least for future Kickstarters, you know, that'd be something that I would be able to use for sure. So anyway, thank you again for coming, everybody. Feel free to keep popping questions in the Ask a Question. I will answer as we go, but I'm going to close the Zoom now. So thank you so much for coming, everybody. Vic, Grant, so good to see you. Oh, my Grandmasters, thank you for coming. Thank you, everyone. Jared. All right. I will see you all later. Take care. See you on Tuesday.
Now, good luck to you.
Thank you. Bye.